Good morning, Paul. Thanks for coming.
Good morning, mate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for wearing a nice top.
We got to represent it. Anyway.
This is it. We haven't had anyone repping it yet. Dougie's a fan. I'm a fan. So, you're in good company. We've had a couple of gas heads recently. So,
let's top them then.
Yeah. We're going to talk today about what really matters. First of all, like most podcasts, it'd be great to learn a bit more about you. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when we first met? That's no. What a memorable occasion it was.
I can remember some different occasions, but I'm just like, which was the first one? Because they were all so cool. I think
the bullshit is strong in this one.
I think it was was it some sort of community thing that Jenny Duffy organised down at Symes Avenue? Like a video or something. She invited me to come and watch, and you were there, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know you were.
No, I do know.
I'm
just like pretending. I'm trying to play it cool, but I mean,
What was it?
It was then.
Oh, it was.
I remember phoning you before.
Yeah.
About a couple of things or one thing. I can't remember what it was. We were chatting earlier on, and your auntie Jackie said, "Oh, give Paul a call." So, and I spoke to you, and then I think it was that thing that Neil Magg's done. When he filmed it, and then there was something
they played it at.
I didn't go to a play, like a viewing thing,
or was it like a community chat or something?
Yeah, something. I don't go. I was just saying to you, I don't go to any networking things. Actually, I didn't go to any of the openings to it. I do nothing.
I think it might have been before that.
It was at Symes HWCP.
Weren't you at like a community chat upstairs in Morrison's with Marvin Rees, and there's loads of like community people around the table?
No,
you weren't invited to that.
No. I told you I don't get. I don't get invited to a lot of these things.
I thought you were there.
No,
but anyway, community work.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I think you were involved, weren't you, in that? In that you were filmed. You were part of that film, that short film that Neil done.
So that you're on. It was called Hartcliffe Aspirations, wasn't it? It started off. Neil Maggs was doing a series of local people in the media, and it was kind of like, where did they come from? Little mini documentaries.
Yeah.
So if you watch that film, you'll see it starts off with Neil going, "Oh, you grew up around here? Oh, that's my old house." And then it becomes something else. It's because it literally became something else as we were filming it, and we're like, "This is much better than Paul's life story." And then it turned into the Aspirations thing. So it started off as like me taking Neil around my estate.
Yeah.
And then we got talking to kids and realised there was a much better conversation to be had.
Well, I don't know.
Well.
that would be argued.
That documentary came out of that, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was thankful to be asked. Privileged isn't the right bloody word, but when people think of you and they think that what you're doing is decent, then you've got to take that as a badge of honour. But yes, it was then.
It was then.
And as you said, you were walking around Hartcliffe and you were talking about your community that you'd grown up in.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Hartcliffe for you?
For me? Cool. Different. I had lots of different periods in my life growing up.
We'll talk about start from childhood.
From childhood.
Yeah. Hang on, I better put the timer on.
Yeah. So childhood. So I was born in Hartcliffe. By the time I was born, but maybe a few months in to being a baby, my mum was a single parent. Lived in a 1-bedroom flat in Hartcliffe. From my earliest memory, I don't know exactly when it happened, but my mum was a Jehovah's Witness until I was about 9 or 10, I think. So during that period, so like I say, my life's divided up into periods. That first 9-year period, I was essentially living as a Jehovah's Witness. So I wasn't allowed to watch films, wasn't allowed to celebrate Christmas, Easter, Halloween, birthdays.
Wow.
Wasn't allowed to play with action figures or anything like that, because it was, it was all about violence. So I was probably a pretty weird kid, to be honest. I'd go to school and tell all the kids Santa wasn't real, all that kind of.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know you're type. Obviously not your fault.
We know kids are watching this. He is real.
Of course he is.
Anyway, so that was, and then I had lots of cousins, and we got a big family, like
Yeah.
So I had a good childhood in regards to being surrounded by lots of kids my own age, playing out in the street. Wonderful aunties, again, like would go above and beyond to kind of try and involve me in the stuff that I wasn't allowed to be involved in. And
is your mum like a sister to Jackie?
Yeah.
Ah, right.
So my mum's Jackie's sister. Yeah, okay. So I think there's 7. 7 of them.
Yeah,
and each
yeah.
one of them got like 4 or 5 kids. So there's loads of cousins.
Yeah.
And each of them got
That
4 or 5
explains the
kids.
football tournaments he goes on about every year. I was like, how many people? Anyway.
65 cousins we're up to or something like that. But yeah, we're all very close and it's lovely. So I had that side of it, which was wonderful, lovely memories. And then also this kind of awareness that I was probably a bit of a weird kid because I wasn't like everyone else, because I was living as a Jehovah's Witness. Then when I was about 9 or 10, like I say, my mum got kicked out of the religion.
Why did she get kicked out?
So
Don't answer anything you don't want
it's
to.
fine.
But,
No, it's simple. She was in a relationship with someone who wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
So she met a guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. They found out, kicked her out. But the first thing that he did, so he was my stepdad until I was about 15.
Okay.
3 brothers and sisters from that relationship. Suddenly, the first thing he did was bring a TV into the house and a video player. So like
That must have been like bloody Technicolor moment.
Exactly. So suddenly I was like, wow. And this is, we'll get to this, but this is why I got into films, I think. Films were always that kind of forbidden fruit. So like my nan had a big box of VHS videotapes under the telly.
Yeah.
I was never allowed to watch them. So it was like, what's in the box, Or my cousins would watch movies in the next room. I had to sit in that other room and wait for them to finish and all this kind of stuff.
That's brutal.
Yeah, I know. Or like I'd go and visit my dad and my granddad and my nan on my dad's side, like on the odd weekend.
Yeah.
And like my granddad might like sneak a video on and let me watch a bit of it and stuff like that. So it was always like this thing that I knew existed but couldn't kind of access. And then like I say, my stepdad brought in a TV and video, and I just watched everything I possibly could, and then just loved film ever since. Really, yeah.
At what age did it start kind of happening then? So you've grown up in Artcliffe, you've been through the situation you just mentioned. I guess your aunties are trying to get you involved in bits and pieces, the youth clubs and the this, that and the other, and other things that are going on.
Yeah.
But at what point did you then get to, hang on a minute, I've watched some films. This is something I'd love to get involved in another way. Was it seamless? I can't imagine it was.
No. So it was very, very gradual. I mean, I always knew from secondary school age that if I could choose to work in anything, it would be film.
Yeah.
So that formulated into this idea that I wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
So I was, because that's all you saw, because you didn't know how films were made as a young kid. It was just like the people on the telly. I want to be one of them. So I thought I wanted to be an actor. Didn't tell anyone that really. Just kind of kept that inside. Didn't do anything about it.
Now this is worth talking about.
Yeah.
And I only say this because I think probably a lot of us might have had some kind of experience.
Yeah.
You say certain things that you might get you a beating when you're younger. Did you actually feel? How did you feel like it would have been taken by other people surrounding you if you said you wanted to be an actor?
I mean, definitely, the piss would have been took out of me for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily just about wanting to be an actor. I think it's just aspiration in general. If you try too hard, you're going to get a kick in, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like,
try hard, basically.
Yeah, you don't want to be a tryhard or a keener or, so you act.
Unless this is something as like mainstream.
It was football. It was absolutely football.
That's it.
Football or boxing, that was it.
Do you want to play a guitar? What?
Yeah.
You want to go
actually, music's maybe a bit different because, I don't know, that seemed a bit more accessible. Now,
yeah.
42.
42. So you would have been the same kind of like time as me, but dance music would have been. I mean, obviously it depends what you're
dance
into.
Music. So like I remember buying like the rave tapes down town and all that. So
music
was cool.
Records,
so if someone said they wanted to be a DJ, that would have been.
That was the cool moment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I remember. Like everyone was doing all that kind of carry on, free parties. But then as soon as you start talking about a guitar or something, it's like.
Yeah, exactly. Or I don't know, on all right poetry, you'd like picked it. So I kept that inside, but that did used to kind of like eat away at me a little bit because I was thinking I just want to shout from the rooftops. That's what I want to do, really. Yeah. Never ever did. I didn't even tell my aunties. Didn't tell anyone. They probably thought, because I probably played up to it a little bit and messed around and kind of always had that little creative spark anyway. Yeah. And then when it came to when you hit 15 and you have to like pick your subjects in school. Yeah. And in my school, you had to pick between you couldn't do PE and drama, so it's one or the two. And I was like. The obvious choices you have to go and do PE, which was just football. Yeah. And I was like, I just want to do drama. And I don't know where the bravery came from, but I just picked drama. And I think I was the only boy that did.
So what? You think that's the sliding door moment there, isn't it?
I think that feels to me, looking back, that was a bit of a sliding door moment. Yeah. Because obviously all my mates were like, we're doing drama for you, weirdo. Like, why aren't you doing drama? And I was just like, I'm just going to do
now
drama.
Now you can go.
Yeah. My mates are super supportive now. But yeah, so I did drama. and for those last 2 years at school, when you're doing your kind of GCSE drama, absolutely fell in love with it even more. It was the only lesson I behaved at in school. So like every other lesson, I was just a terror. But really committed to drama. And then when I left school, it was kind of, again, I didn't do anything about it.
Did you just quickly on that one? Did you have a really inspirational teacher? Or was it just the fact that you knew you wanted to get into acting, so you were committed to it, or was there an actual person that was there that was like, do you know what I mean? Inspirational.
It was. I'd say more of it came from me. I did have a good drama teacher. His name was Mr. Yeoman.
Okay.
And everyone hated him because he was harsh.
Right.
But he definitely did. Try and find opportunities for me. So he got me a little role in, remember 999?
Yeah.
I was in that for a little bit. And then Casualty would come call and he wanted some kid to sit in.
Yeah. I know people I went to school.
And I can remember there's another sliding door moment that, in hindsight it's okay, but at the time my life could have been very different. So the 6 weeks holidays were coming up, so you get like that steady leave bit. And he had an opportunity for a kid from a council estate to go to Red Roof Drama School to do a 6 weeks course. And that's a pretty big drama school where a lot of big, names I've been through.
Yeah.
And then he said, I've got to pick someone and I want to offer it to you. And I was like,
that's got to be amazing.
I was like, no chance. My mates we're building a rope swing this summer. What are we talking about? Like, do you know what I mean? My mate's just got a scrambler now. So I didn't do it. And then when I left school, I was like, what an idiot. I really wanted to do that, but I didn't have the balls to say yeah.
Is this, so when you left school, I'm guessing you didn't jump out of school straight into some kind of film related opportunity. I'm guessing life was life.
Well, so, but by the time I left school, I was already living on my own.
Okay.
So very, very lucky. This wouldn't happen now. So for whatever reason, I had to leave home when I was 15. My cousin had a flat. He was a year older than me when he was 16. So moved in with him for a bit. Then eventually he got kicked out of his flat for whatever reason. And I wasn't 16 yet, but I didn't have anywhere to go. So I was basically sofa surfing. And then my auntie Catherine, I think you know as well, I basically moved in with her for probably about, I don't know, maybe 6 months. It feels like it was about 5 years. Mainly because it was such nice memories. So I was living with my cousins, we were watching movies.
Yeah.
Really felt like I was part of a family. It was lovely. So it felt, in my mind, it feels like most of my childhood.
Did that feel like stability?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like if you're bouncing around for whatever. I mean, I'm not asking you about the reasons because obviously you don't want to talk about it. But
it was lovely. It was probably the happiest period of my life, I would say. Is living at my auntie's house with my cousins.
Wow. Big up you, Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine's amazing. Anyway, but obviously I couldn't stay there forever, so we applied for a council flat, and then the council gave me a flat but said you couldn't move in until you were 16. So I stayed at Catherine's and stayed at school. I can't remember exactly what happened, but the school did something that said I was allowed to, I can't quite remember what it is, I'm going to get it wrong, but essentially I wasn't allowed to move into this flat until I was 16. It was something to do with, because I was technically homeless, they were supposed to tell social services or something, or I wasn't allowed to come to my GCSEs or something weird. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I can remember the fact I was living with Catherine meant I could not go to school.
Oh, she was like a guarantor or something
that? I didn't go to school, but I went for my exams.
Okay.
So they were like, he doesn't need to come to lessons. It's fine. Just come seriously.
I had a similar bit of this.
Yeah. So again, that was only for probably the last 2 months of my 15th year.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I hit 16, I was already trying to put stuff into the flat. And so I had the flat. Yeah. So again, the council gave me a flat at 15. That's unheard of.
Yeah. Bloody hell. It is now.
And then as soon as I hit my 16th birthday, I was allowed to move into that flat. So by the time I left school, I was already living on my own. So
how are you affording to live? It's 16.
I was just labouring at the time then. So again, my auntie Catherine's husband, Kerry, my uncle. Yeah. As soon as I left school, I went to work on a building site with him. But I was already doing weekends with him when I was living at the house. Yeah. Just labouring for a plasterer, really. Yeah. So I'd get 25 quid a day. House
was paid for, and you then the rest everything else.
It was obviously my rent was paid for because I had rent, whatever you call it, rent benefit. Yeah. Council tax benefit. And I was earning cash in hand on the building site. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was all right. So my rent was paid, or my cash in hand was just to feed me, really. It was sang. And, go to get in the pub on a weekend. So I was all right. And then did that for 2 or 3 years. And then I met my now wife, had my first kid at 19. So again,
This is the next
now
chapter.
I'm a dad, so I never ever really had the chance to aspire, if you know what I mean, because I was always just
This is going to be one of my
surviving,
questions.
I suppose.
Yeah.
So it never really clicked that I could go to college or university, or I could. So I still.
So at 19, at 19,
yeah,
just been through what we spoke about.
yeah,
Get with your missus.
yeah.
Have your first kid. How does this go into making films?
I missed a bit actually. Let me rewind a little bit. So when I was working on a building site, I knew I was never ever going to do that forever. I hated it. I liked working with my uncle, but I hated it. I wasn't really cut for it. I was very good at the graft, but not at all. I'm terrible at DIY. I'm not good at anything. Do you know what I mean?
I had a similar moment myself as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I can lug bricks about, sand, and I'll work myself into the ground. But if you ask me to change a light bulb, I'll fuck it up.
Yeah, thanks, Timothy.
So anyway, I knew I didn't want to do that. So I was just again, deep down, I really want to be an actor, but I didn't have any clue. So weirdly, and you're going to go, wow, now, and the conversation goes somewhere else, but don't, because it's not as glamorous as it sounds. But I applied to be a private investigator and got the job.
Right.
And through that job, it was essentially pretending to be other people to track down people that don't want to be found.
What?
That was my job, right? From the age of about...
Holding back.
Yeah, from about 18, that was.
Right.
So I applied for this job. It was full of ex-military, ex-police, all older men.
Yeah.
And I just went in and went, I reckon I'd be really good at this. I'm resourceful. I got the gift of the gab. Do you know what I mean?
No good with light bulbs.
Yeah. Basically,
I can blag it.
Basically, yeah, I can blag it. I said, look, I'm good at blagging. I can blag things.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, we'll give you a chance. And I was like, thanks. So I was a private investigator from 18 till about 22, I reckon. Again, loved doing that. But that was almost scratching the itch because it was creative. Because you were creating.
So did you use that as you're a different character depending on what the need is, who you're looking for, who you're talking to, all of that.
All of that.
I can see that.
And you would also write up statuses. So you'd write kind of I've been hired to find you. Whoever's hired me wants to know all about you. So I'd find you and then have to write a thing called a status, which was Ben works for grassroots communities. He does this. He goes to work at 8 o'clock. And so they were little stories about people. So I used to enjoy that as well.
Okay.
So that was kind of scratching the itch for a few years. Anyway, it was really well paid when it was paid. So it was all commission based. So if you had to work and I found someone, get paid very well.
Yeah.
If the work went there and I hadn't found someone, you ain't getting paid. You're getting paid nothing.
Okay.
So my wages were like that. I had a new kid, and eventually my missus was like, this isn't sustainable. I was like, yeah, you're right. So then I left that, and then went to work for Direct Line Insurance.
Everyone.
Yeah.
I done a bit of that. BT, I've done a bit of that as well.
Yeah, I was doing the recoveries, so it was trying to get money out of people that have had crashes that weren't insured or whatever. Hated that with a passion. I hate call centers. But that reignited. I got sacked from 2 call centers. Horrible systems. But that reignited, how much I hated that job reignited this idea that, okay, well, what do you love? Do something about it. And I was this is a long way to get to it, but I was touching 30 at this point now.
Yeah. Wow,
so I was bouncing around Direct Line and different departments for a while. And I was panicking. I was nearly 30 and not doing anything I actually want to do. And I was like, right, I want to make films. And then I just started. That was it.
I'm going to throw this out the window because I already have, really. That, to me, right, I think there's more in this. It's you waited to, even though there was something you knew you wanted to do, you were passionate about it, you were interested in it, you waited till you were 30. Yeah. Why do you think you had to do that? Because let's be honest, I know I don't want to suddenly kick into a class thing, but I feel like there's an element of sometimes people with all the talent, all the interest, just don't think it's for them. 100%. And I'd done a degree in youth and community work at 30 as well, because I didn't get anything at school. So it's the same similar kind of thing. You don't necessarily feel like that's possible.
It just felt like it felt very obvious that it was a silly pipe dream, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was I've got this and I really want to do it and I'm passionate about it, but what's the point in saying it or trying to do anything about it? And that wasn't anyone telling me I wasn't welcome. That was just a cultural thing, I think.
Yeah, but that's your own bias. It's it's not for me. I'm never going to get an opportunity. How am I going to get that opportunity?
It's closet ambition, isn't it? You don't want to put your head up and go, I'm ambitious and I want to do this thing. So you're just closeted. You're just closeted all the time.
Is that just people, or is it a class thing?
No, it's definitely a class thing. Definitely. Because you don't see it, right? If you have no visibility of success, and everyone that you do see that does have the most money at the pub, or everyone who does,
they're not acting. They
they're
set up their building firm or whatever, yeah.
You know, or the very lucky ones went and played for City for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so it was
the
like,
lucky ones.
It was always, it was just never ever on the cards. Your teachers never talked about it. Your parents never talked about it. Your aunties, uncles, dads, cousins. No one talked about any other opportunities apart from what we could see in front of our very eyes.
I'm with you, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of other people that are with you. Now, what I'm interested in, but what happened that made you suddenly, this is a pipe dream, never going to do it, who's going to give me an opportunity? You know, I'd love to do it, got ability, don't know how I'm going to make this work. There was obviously something that happened that made it feel more likely that you could actually
I think it was
earn a living out of this.
I think it was more this kind of rebellious streak I've got in me. Yeah, I don't think it was anything specific. It was more just this feeling isn't going away. So blooming do something about it. Stop being a baby. I think it was just that, and it was like I say, it was the fear of it in 30, and then thinking, hang on, if I stick doing what I'm doing, I'm going to be a really unhappy 40, 50, 60-year-old. What do you want to do? Get on with it and go and try and do it. There was an element as well of, and I said again, it was because I hated my job. And I saw, I'll tell you what the instigator was. I saw a class at the Folk House at Park Street. Do you know what that place is? It's like a little community. I don't really know what it is. It's a bit like a youth centre for adults.
It's a cafe. My missus bought me for guitarist guy. I've been going on about it for years. Back to that, and I went to a couple, and it's a bit different, isn't it?
It's like adults can learn stuff on the cheap.
There's loads of stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah. So there was a little thing where a guy had come off of, he was writing Casualty at the time.
Right.
And he did a little course. It was like £100. Learn the basics of screenwriting. And I was like, I'm pretty good at writing. I love movies. I'll have a go at that. So I went with my cousin, Sam, who always made films with, Catherine's son. And we did this. And at the time, Sam was about to, I don't know if he'd already had or he was about to, go to university to study film, which I was super jealous about. Because obviously, all Catherine's kids, they've had a really stable, kind of nice upbringing.
And do you think it was that lack of stability that...
It was like...
meant you didn't believe it was possible? Or was it like... Because at a certain age, the only reason I say this, at a certain age, like, it's probably the same in film.
I think it's the freedom to know that you're safe even if you mess up.
Yeah.
So like knowing you've always got a mum and dad to go back to, you've always got a bedroom to go back to, you've always got someone encouraging you, supporting you, telling you you're the best.
Yeah.
I might be wrong from their point of view, but from my point of view, looking out, I was like, that would be lovely to have that, you know? So when they... All my cousins.
It's like a safety net, isn't it? I'm not making. We're not saying it's easy for anyone, but it does feel a bit like
that. Like from my own personal jealous eyes, that's what I thought other kids had, and I thought my cousins had. So when Sam went to university, I was just like, wow, I would love to. And he was brave, by the way, because he was working in a dead end job at the time, and he was older. He was an older student.
Yeah, nothing's easy.
And similarly, he was just like, I don't like this job. I love film. I'm going to go to university. And I was like, wow, that's brave. I felt really kind of like proud of him and jealous in equal measure. So then I was like, well, I need to do something then. Found this course at the Folk House. This is how it went. Did the screenwriting course. Sam did it with me because he was interested in learning about screenwriting too. When we came out of finishing that screenwriting course, Sam was also finishing his filmmaking course. And through this course, you had to write a piece of work. And we wrote a sitcom called Gwent Boys, which was about a struggling 90s boy band reforming, which was, ahead of its time, because now to rake a loser at that stuff. We never got off the ground. But anyway, we were like, should we write it together? Because Sam was at uni and never had the time to commit to writing this project, to deliver to this screenwriting course. Yeah. And I'd finished mine, because I had all the time in the world. I think I was unemployed. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let's write it together. Wrote it together. He finished his filmmaking course, and we were like, what are we going to do with this? Because obviously it comes back to you. We didn't really know what to do. Sam wanted to make a short film because he just finished his filmmaking course. And we were like, should we write a short film together? Wrote a short film together. I produced it, Sam directed it, we wrote it together. And I just used that opportunity to go, right, I'm going to learn from that moment. Because I've always had this insecurity about not going to college or uni or having an actual education.
It's understanding because you look at others, don't you? And there's always that bloody
Yeah,
someone else has done more. They know more.
Who's going to trust me when they're all talking about what units you went to and I didn't? So I was just like, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to get my education from just doing it. And then I made one short film. We thought it was great. It wasn't. But we learned a lot. I made another one and another one and another one.
So that was literally, you got the cameras and you've done it yourself?
We crowdfunded a little bit of money. Basically said, hey, me and Sam are making a film. He wants to give us some money. One of our aunties gave us a big chunk. Just like, I think it was $1,000. Wow. It like blew our mind. We were just wow, like the pressure now.
They believe in you. And that's what you needed, someone to believe in you.
But this is the thing. So like when we put it out into the community, it was a bit like, wow, Paul and Sam making a film, like that's so new because no one had seen it before. So like my mates were giving me £100 and people I'd met at the pub were giving me £100. And I was like, this is insane. Never done a crowdfunder since because it made us feel really bad because it was like the poorest people we know are throwing money at us. It's always
people with less that give more.
So it didn't feel good really. It felt amazing that they were showing that much support, but it felt like a bit icky because I knew they were skinned. Anyway, we made that film, made sure we hired people that were more experienced than us to learn from. And then I've just made a film one after the other ever since. And I'm still learning, Do
you want to say a little bit now as well about kind of, if for someone that's watching this that won't necessarily know about the stuff that you've done before, how would you explain your kind of style, the short films that you made? I know this is asking you to kind of condense, you made quite a lot of films, haven't you? I mean, but how would you explain it to someone that hasn't seen your films? What's your thing?
My style?
Your style and a little bit about your films.
I like character-driven stuff. I like stuff that's driven by kind of emotionality and psychology more so than high concept genre stuff. You know, I love all that because that's what I grew up watching. But I like to try and marry those two things. Like I'm interested in people and characters and situations, and I love an anti-hero. I love an underdog. I love that line between right and wrong, good and evil, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I like to get down and make that very human and grounded when I'm exploring that kind of stuff. But I still love movies, so I'm doing these kind of, like I say, emotional, psychological kind of character pieces. But I always like to try and find something that makes it a movie, you know?
I mean, well, I've just got a couple of bullet points. That is the kind of thing that comes across. Do you know what I mean? I wonder then as well for someone that might be like thinking that they might want to get into filmmaking and that kind of thing. Can you explain a little bit about, because we spoke off camera a little bit about what do you actually do quite a lot? Because it's not, this is the thing, when people think about films, don't they think, oh yeah, he rocks up and makes a film.
Yeah.
Ta-da! No. Not that straightforward. What's the reality of an aspiring filmmaker that's made some amazing short films, won awards? What's your kind of day-to-day? It's constantly looking for the next job, always. And that revolves around writing pitches, essentially my job when I'm not on set will be rewriting scripts that people have written, polishing up scripts, pitching my own ideas, writing and polishing my own ideas, being attached to things. So like you get things called attachments where a production company has a film, they want to go out and finance it. So can we give you a little bit of money? We'll attach your name, so you now go into the pitch deck, so you're part of our package, and we'll go out and try and find money for it. So they can go, right, this person's directing it. Similar with cast. So like most projects, when they're out financing, cast comes first. So you are going to be part of it if it gets funded. Yeah, but they're not just using your name to kind of, and other people's names to get the money, and then they go, oh, well, actually, no.
So when you get an attachment, you'll sign a contract that says, we'll give you, I don't know, we're making this movie for this budget, and you'll get paid this amount of money. We'll give you a little tiny bit of that money up front for us to attach you to it, so we can go out, package it up, and try and finance it. Just because when you're going to financiers or commissioners, they want to know who's in it, who's directing it, you know, what it looks like, what it sounds like, and all that kind of stuff. So you're constantly hustling for, which is a creative job in itself, you're not getting paid for it, but you're constantly building up all these projects at different levels and at different times. And they're all getting either closer and then further away.
Sounds like spinning a lot of bloody plates to me. It feels a little bit like my world, but not obviously not the same at all.
And that's exactly what it is, and you're just hoping that one takes off. You can't just put your eggs in one basket and go, well, this is mine, I hope it happens. You've got your passion projects, but you just need to be over so many different projects just in case one of them goes. And they could all go, and you could be amazing, or none of them could go, and you're back to square one.
I mean, again, we spoke a bit off camera. I'm going to go into a few other questions in a minute, but just like, can you say a little bit about what your aspirations are? Because you just said that you went to an award ceremony last weekend. I'll let you explain a little bit more. So, you know, you've been going in this direction for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah,
like you're doing well, getting awards for the different films that you've been making. I guess it's not always about the awards, but obviously it must help.
I love an award. I'm not going to lie about that. I love an award.
That's fair enough. But what's your aspirations and the next steps? Because you're driving towards something, aren't you? And it's like it's.
I mean, I just want to do it more. Like, I love it. I absolutely am addicted to writing and making films. I love it. Absolutely love it. And like, you know, what's that saying? If you love your job, you never work a day in your life. It's definitely that. So I want to do more of it, but to do more of it, it costs money. You can't just, at my level, so I could say to like a young filmmaker, grab a mobile phone, go out and make a film. Just make one, and then make another one. Where obviously I'm at the point now where my films...
I've been through
that stage, and they're in a standard now where, you know, you do need budget for kit and cast and crew and whatever else it may be. So finding financing to keep going is difficult. It's to make a feature film, a successful feature film. It's to make a high-end TV show. It's to be a working director that, you know, I'm getting paid, and that's my full-time job, which at the moment it isn't.
Yeah. So you must have flexibility.
And to win all the awards. I want an Oscar. I want a BAFTA. I want all the awards. Like, I love it. I want that validation.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the barriers then, do you feel like? I mean, I'm guessing these could be multiple, but what's the barriers?
I mean, it's a really, really competitive industry. There are too many people that want to do it and not enough opportunities for people to do it. Like, that is just the bottom line. But when those opportunities are made smaller, we've talked about this, but because of nepotism, because of not being in the club, you know, up in London, in Soho, and meeting all the right people in the right pubs, then the opportunities are smaller and smaller again. And the industry is just very risk averse by its very nature. So it's you have to have a champion to go, no, I like Paul Holbrook and I want him to direct this. And then when that happens, suddenly you might find yourself in the club, and then you're away.
How do you get
I have got some champions. Like I say, I'm attached to 3 feature films. Each one of those have producers behind them that are championing me to direct those films. And I'm contractually...
Sounds like you're on the cusp. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I'm on the cusp, and I feel like I've been on the cusp for about 5 years. That's the problem.
So how do you keep the energy? Because this is part of it.
Because I love it. So like every time I make a short film, right, people will say to me, "You've got to stop making short films. You're past that now. You should be doing INTV. You should be doing feature films."
Do you? And you get the funding for this, and then you obviously you write the script, or sometimes, and then you direct it, because you're not filming it, as you were saying earlier. You're directing.
You mean the shorts?
Yeah.
They can happen in various different ways. So there are funds you can apply for with drone projects. Sometimes I get bought projects by other people that already have funding that want me to direct it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll come on early when it's just a script, and then the financing will come in drips and drabs. But I just love to do it. So every time, like, people in this industry probably would say to me, "You're past short, stop doing it, because you're coming that short film, man."
Yeah.
And I say to myself, "This is the last one." Every time I go, "This is the last."
Yeah, that's not through the lack of wanting to do the feature film.
Oh no, of course. And I've got all these features over here bubbling away, but I'm not good at just sat on my hands. So like, if I've done a short film here and I go, right, that's the last one, and then it's 2-3 months and nothing's really moved over here, I'll be right, I'm making another short, because I just can't stop. I love it. I'm addicted.
I mean, I guess you probably...
And I can't say no. So if someone comes to me with a script and says, "Paul, look at this script. Anything in it? Do you think you might
say that out loud?"
Well, yeah, I know. But then I'll go like, "Well, no, there's issues. Let me give you some notes." And they go, and then before you know it, you're working with the writer and you're making it, you know. Is there
not like, and I got no idea, like, but is there not, if you've done X amount of different successful short films, there must be people that were within the world of the feature films that, do they look at the short films as the stepping stone, or is it
they do.
Not connected?
It is, I suppose. Your short films will always be used as like proof that you're okay at your job, I suppose. But so much of our industry is driven by whether a film's commercial, whether it makes any money. Obviously, short films don't make any money. So the decision makers that are thinking what makes money aren't looking at a short and saying, that means he can make a commercially successful feature film. It's more about tone and style, right, and the technical abilities of it. So I don't think there's anyone that would look at my CV and say he's not good enough. It's more, why him? So I mean, there's millions of people as good as me.
Why not then? So this probably is a part of the barriers. Why not?
I mean, I can't speak for him. I don't know why not me. Because
give him a chance.
There are probably,
come on.
There are maybe, in their eyes, there are safer bets, maybe.
Safer bets get safe results.
True. As I say, people don't want to take risks.
That's where the gold is.
I don't mean I'm a risk.
That's where the gold is.
But I don't know. The industry
You're
does
not risk
the same
anyway.
thing over and over again. Like you say, I'm on the cusp. And I shouldn't moan because there are people, that would love to be where I am now.
Yeah,
so
and you have done very well.
I don't want to moan too much and be
not...
like, oh, poor me, because I am very lucky. I've made lots and lots of short films. I have got feature films that are in development. I've got a great agent. So it's just a really, really, really difficult industry. It is that simple.
Yeah.
It is made more difficult when you don't know the right people, you're not moving in the right circles, and you're not, you don't look, sound, have the same education as everyone else. Like, that is just a matter of fact.
I guess people always like this is the same in any walk of life, isn't it? If there's other people that someone feels more comfortable around, has the same background, sounds the same, looks the same, it's like it's no different to chatting to someone down the pub in Artcliffe or chatting to someone at some fancy place somewhere else. Like, everyone will be, we all do it from whatever background. It's just it's human nature. It's just difficult. That's where the money is.
Yes. When I make a film, we all do it. When I make a film, I'm constantly looking for the people that are like me to hire. Yeah. And everyone's doing the same, so I don't blame them too much. What needs to change, I feel, is more a cultural shift. So that in 10, 20 years' time, it's not everyone looking and sounding the same, making the decisions.
How does that change? I love the way you're answering all my questions.
Do you know what I mean? But we can bang the drum and say, let us in, let us in, let us in. But those lot will die off eventually. So if I
but if it's still getting passed down to flipping Horatio or whoever, that is it. I mean, there's need to. It's all about a blend, isn't it, and a balance.
It's about just being open to working with any new voice. And on paper, there's a big push this year for like working class voices in the film industry. And I think we were talking about it. So adolescents will come out and they go, "Wait, look at us, we've done a working class thing." And as much as I love all the people involved in that, it is the same working class faces. So it's like that box is ticked, job done.
And is it because...
And it's one thing out of 10,000 shows, like, do you know what I mean?
But is it because, we were chatting about it before, I thought it was amazing, but the reality is, like you said, it's like, there's probably a lot of people that have pitched a hell of a lot of things that are very similar or slightly different. Yes. But the fact that Stephen Graham and the other people involved in it are obviously box office. Well, they get that opportunity, and it was amazing.
It's amazing, and I have no doubt that you can't make change unless you're in, can you?
Yeah.
So the fact that Jack Ford and Stephen Graham, Barantini are in, right? They can affect it. So Stephen Graham's got a production company that champions working class talent, for example. So once you're in, you can make change. But until the commissioners want to see 10 times more working class stories or different stories, because that's the other thing, isn't it? What is a working class story?
This is part of the issue, isn't it? I know where it's going to go. But this is part of the issue. It's like, what is working class? Is it even understood? Is it even a thing? Is it? When you look at all the bloody the checklist, it's not even a freaking thing, is it?
It's just too broad a concept. That's what bothers me about it.
It's poverty, isn't it? It's coming from poverty, but it's not
poverty. But
poverty of opportunity, it's not always money.
Well. So we've said this before. Southmead Council Estate culturally isn't the same as the Artcliffe Council Estate. Yeah, we have a lot of similarities. But you can walk in a Southmead pub and feel very different to walking in an Artcliffe pub. There's cultural differences. St Paul's ain't the same as Artcliffe. So it's like, to say that, we want more working class stories, their idea of what a working class story is, I don't know, Stephen Graham hawking around and being angry, or someone on drugs or benefits, or
so is it the whole thing's typecasted? It's not even a working class story. It's the opportunity for working class people.
Yes,
they're because the creativity, the talent, the kind of the ideas is no different than other people, but it would come from a slightly different take because your background. I mean, based on everything you just spoke about, I can imagine a lot of your films are coming from a lot of personal experience as well as creativity. And let's be honest, if you've had a completely different experience and background growing up, then that's where your palette is going to be different. It's not any better than certain people, but it's different.
But what the argument would be at the top, and I totally agree with you, but what the argument would be at the top is if audiences aren't willing to watch that stuff, why would they bother making it?
Well, they are, because you think how many people are from flipping normal everyday communities out there? That's the point.
But exactly, right? So you'll get a lot of talk from
and their voice in heard. Sorry, I'm shouting.
This is what I mean by they'll just keep doing the same thing. So they go, Bridgerton was successful, let's make another Bridgerton. Oh, that was successful. And it just goes like that. So until now we've had adolescence,
maybe,
and other things similar to it, maybe it's okay, well, people are watching this stuff. It's just a slow process. But they'll always just keep remaking the thing that's been successful. So it's Happy Valley was really successful for a bit. That was a working class story.
That was brilliant.
And
that was brilliant, wasn't
it? The BBC, they were like, we want the next Happy Valley. And then Baby Reindeer came out. It clearly wasn't. Now they want the next Baby Reindeer. And that's fallen down a bit. So it's this constant revolving door of what works and what doesn't.
And if you're pitching with your number of spinning plates over here,
the right thing at
changes,
the right time.
You've written something there. Now
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
I feel your pain.
It's a tough gig, but that's why you've got to love it. Like I said, I mentor a lot of kids who want to work into the film industry, and it's honestly, I want to empower them, encourage them, support them, but they have to love it because you're not going to have a super successful, happy life. It's going to be ups and downs.
It's going to be a challenge.
I mean, you're going to be skinned, for a long time.
This comes on to some of these questions I put together. I don't normally put a lot of different questions together, so I'm not saying you should feel privileged, but whatever. We'll fire them out there. My eyesight's not as good as what it has been, but this is all kind of connected really with young people and creativity and that kind of thing. So, what role does creativity play in shaping a young person's identity?
Well, I think if you've got it, it needs to be exercised, and that's the thing that doesn't happen. So, I think there is a big issue with, especially in schools, that naughty kids are just naughty kids. There are horrible kids, I'm sure.
There's a reason normally why they're acting out.
There's usually a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And all I can say is one of my reasons was I couldn't give a crap about science and humanities and all that.
Well, you had enough going on at home as well as...
Well, I had all that going on at home, but I just wasn't interested. I just loved movies. That's all I loved. I loved writing. I used to get on writing English. So I think there is If a kid shows, I do think people are split into two. They're either really good with their hands and they're workers, or they're creative, or they're really good academically, or they're creative. And I just think so many of those creative kids are just being let down because the opportunities aren't there to.
And are they more let down in areas that?
100%. Well, we did a casting call for a load of kids when I made that film Shiny.
Yeah.
The amount of kids that turned up.
He was from Bridge, wasn't he? I can remember.
He was from Bridge, the boy,
right,
and the girls from Wibbywood were merchants.
That's right, yeah.
But the amount of kids. So first of all, they were like, "Oh, no kids will turn up. Kids around here aren't interested in that kind of thing." And I was like, "Well, let's just try. If 5 turn up, at least we've caught all the 5 of them." 70, 80, 90 kids turned up, which was amazing.
Wow.
All telling me how they love drama, and about 70% of them didn't even do drama at school because it had been scrapped. You just think, this is just 1 year group.
This is the point, isn't it?
Let down.
If the opportunity is not there, then you can't work towards
it. You're not massaging that muscle. You're not exercising it. It's just eventually going to fizzle out because you feel like, okay, it must not be for me then, because I'm not even allowed to do it at school.
And that again, you're brilliant.
That's why I do so much for wanting to support aspirations of kids. It's not even about my industry. It's all I see in other kids is myself. I'm not crying, by the way. I'm ill. I look like I shed a tear in it.
Whatever.
No, I'm not very well. What was I saying? Yeah, so I see in all these kids these secret aspirations that I had, and that used to wind me up as a kid. I really used to feel uncomfortable about having this aspiration and having no outlet for it, or no support. Or
no one, I guess, was saying from your community, here's an opportunity.
Yeah. If someone came in my school and went, "How about films?" I'd have went, "Yes, please."
That sounded like you, looked like you knew of from the area, or knew they were from the area. Suddenly, it doesn't make it so daunting. To rock up.
Exactly. You've got someone you can send an email to. You've got someone you can see in a creative space or in a community centre and have a chat with. and like no one else from my estate does it. So I do feel a bit of a responsibility to be that person.
Right. You've got one across the city, mate. Sorry.
But you know what I mean? Like I want to, even if I can find the one kid that was like me and go, you can do it. And there are loads of them.
Did any of these, because I know you've had different people from various different communities that have been involved in your films. Yeah. Did those kids there, did they have any background of acting at all?
Which ones?
You just said about that.
No, not at all. None.
So, I mean, I agree with you.
I think it's a little bit easier for girls because I think they can go to dance and scratch that itch there, or it's not as, I don't know, if a girl said they wanted to be an actor in school, they wouldn't be laughed out of town, but boy might be. So I still think there's that issue going on.
It's the masculine boys kind of...
boys have to play football.
Yeah.
Boys have to be hard. Boys have to be naughty. Yeah,
I'll
go and work on a building site. So I do think it's a little bit easier for girls. Still difficult.
But still need the opportunity as well, even if it is a bit easier. I don't,
Yeah, but so like the girl in that film, for example, she's a dancer. So she came from dance. So she was already kind of open to creative expression. So it was a lot easier for her to come and apply for that chance. The boy that got the job came to the interview and was like dead quiet and didn't want to admit that he wanted the job.
What did you see in him then?
I saw myself in him. I really, really did. So the boy we cast in that film, I love him. I think he's great in that film.
But did you see the ability, or did you see the need to be able to express himself?
I saw the character in him, and I saw the attitude, and I saw the rough around the edges, Hartcliffe culture in him, which was the little boy he was supposed to be playing in the film. I don't think the film's very good, by the way, but I was not as truthful as I should have been in that film. I was trying to make it pretty.
What held you back?
Just not wanting to make a stereotypical film about working class kids. So I was trying to make something very shiny. It's called Shiny. It was very sunshiny and lovely, and I wanted to go, no, it doesn't all have to be doom and gloom, but I went too far the other way, and there's no nuance now. I don't think, not enough nuance in it, or not enough truth in it.
Well, I reckon there's a lot. There's a lot in that. Because I guess like the reality of not everyone, but there are challenges. So it can be gritty, and I think that's probably part of your kind of thing, isn't it?
You can't fight back against the truth just because it becomes gritty. As long as it's the truth, you're fine. It's just you don't want things that are gritty.
Well, do you think it want the truth?
Huh?
Do you think it want the truth? What you done with that film? Like,
no, it wasn't the truth. But when I look at that film, the
truth
I do see in that film is in that little boy, and that's why I cast him.
Is it not true because you feel like it didn't represent the reality of that community?
Yeah.
But then weren't you trying to kind of give it a little bit of like, this is what is possible? I guess, like, I don't know, how is your
There are moments in it that are fine, and there are moments that do that. But there are other moments where I'm just like, I don't see my community in that scene that I've just shot. I've fluffed it up and it's not quite right.
Do you feel? Sorry, I'm asking those questions. But do you feel like you've got to represent your community in exactly how it is? Because the thing is, it's different all the time. There's loads of love. There's loads of there's people that earn all right money. There's people that are right on the breadline.
When I say it should have been grittier, I don't mean they should have been out taking drugs and stabbing people. Like that's not what I'm saying. It's just the rough around the edges-ness of it.
Yeah.
The culture of it. Every kid's different. We're not all the same. So it's not like I'm trying to make some sort of stereotypical film that all kids are the same and all cultures are the same on this estate. Yeah. It was more that what I was doing, I'd never seen it. So for example, there's a scene where there are some bullies.
Yeah.
And they're just like the most tamest, nicest bullies ever. And I'm just like, bullies in Hartcliffe aren't like that.
No,
why didn't I just tell the truth and let the reaction be real enough and true enough, and the emotion I'm digging out be real enough and true enough?
Are you thinking about who's watching it as well at that point?
Yes.
Or is it thinking, if someone gets a brick round the side of their head for whatever...
I was trying to be rebellious to what the idea of a working class film looked and sounded like. So I was trying to say, no, it's not that. It can be this. And then by doing that, there were a few mistruths that snuck through, and I should have just found the light despite the dark. Whereas instead, what I made was the light. There is no dark.
Okay. Yeah. But have you taken that? You obviously have taken that learning because you're talking about it.
Massive.
And has that impacted on the stuff that you've done since?
100%.
That's part of the journey, isn't it?
It's part of the journey.
That's part of your creative journey. That's part of, I guess, filmmaking.
Yeah.
Do you think, how do you think financial struggles impact on young people's ability to get into any kind of creative opportunity?
Yeah, it's massive. Because, like I say, if you want to do what I do, you have to commit to being absolutely skint for at least, 5 years, if not more.
There's no guarantee even then, is there?
And there's no, well, now, like I say, I'm still part-time now, 15 years later. So like I'm very lucky that I've got another job that pays the rent. Do you know what I mean? Or pays my mortgage. So if I didn't have that, there's no way I would have been done what I've done to date. There's no way I'd be on the cusp, like you say. So I'm
So is
very
it that
lucky.
reality? So for any young person who's listening to this, it's from everyday background or whatever, that's got aspirations and dreams to do something creative. Is it having that kind of, the reality is, you're going to have to go through the hard yards, you're going to have to get a job, you're going to have to survive, do what you need to do. But if you're that passionate, then you'll put all that time into it on the side.
It's actually, like I say,
it's not a straight, easy pill, is it?
Your pay is, and it's not right, but it is how it is. Your pay is the fact you get to do it and that you love it. So you have to have the passion for it, and you have to be able to do it despite all that, because you can do nothing else.
I think it's heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean? I think I thought about this when I wrote that this morning. I was thinking about my missus from Portsmouth, lived in a high-rise flats, blah blah, all the rest of it. She went to university, first person to uni, family, went to do photography, and then she'd done the first year, and she was like, I'm never going to get paid to do this. And she's looking around at other people. I shouldn't necessarily be saying this on air, but look around at other people and just feel like she didn't necessarily. How would she get paid to do that? She loved to do it. She would love being creative. But how could that be a job? Because of the background you come from. It's like we've got to break through that somehow, haven't we? And how?
What I would say, though, is this is where it wouldn't have worked for me. But so I'm a writer and a director, and that's what I wanted to do. Yeah? The film industry's doors are open to start at the very bottom as like a runner, researcher, production
but you get paid
assistant.
nothing. So if you need to live...
You'll get paid. Yeah, no, paid jobs. Yes, freelance, but proper paid jobs.
Yeah.
And you can work your way up that way. But the problem with that, if you want to be a writer and director, is you'll be stuck on that ladder and doing that, and then suddenly your wages will get better, you get paid more, and then you have no time to go and do the thing you actually wanted to do. So it's a little bit of a trade-off.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have wanted to do that because I want to be a writer and director, I want to tell stories. I want to make films.
And you need time for that, don't you?
You need time for that, and you need to be able to commit to developing these ideas and working out why you want to tell those stories.
So would that be your advice as well to someone?
I would say if you want to work in the film industry and you don't care as what, and you want to discover what it might be through doing it, get on Screen Skills, which is like an organisation which is to create opportunities for people coming into the industry. Find placements, be a runner, be a researcher, be all these different things. Get in. You will network because you're meeting people also working in that industry. Lots of stuff's being shot in Bristol these days, and you will gradually work your way up from production to production to production to production. But where you'll end up, I have no idea. You might end up a producer, you might end up an assistant director, you might end up a runner forever, which is also fine. You might
there's luck involved in this as well. It's like anything that we all try to do.
There's massive luck. There aren't any real overnight success stories. I don't think they really exist. It's just graft. And you just have to be grafting towards the thing that you want to do. And accept the fact it's easier for some people than it is for others. And
but try and make that your rocket fuel to not give up.
100%.
Because...
And understand the skills that you've got that are outside of the creative stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're rebellious and resourceful, and you've got a gift and a gab, they are superpowers.
Yeah. If people haven't had to been through whatever adversity or whatever it is, they don't have that. That's not their fault, but they don't have that, and that is something that could fuel you to get to where you want to go.
Not everyone's got that. People who've had a really, really easy, blessed life do not have the resilience and the kind of work ethic that people from counter states have got. Use it. And just don't take no for an answer. Just tell me no, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. You said no, okay, well, I'll go over and ask that, but they said, okay, I'm doing it myself again. I just keep doing that until eventually they go,
something will change. But you've got to live in hope. We've got to live in hope. Something will change, because if you're still within that area, whatever you want to do, and you're still pushing away, at some point, someone is going to give you an opportunity. There's got to be.
Yeah. As long as you don't give up and you're always there,
continue.
Opportunity will always be, a phone call or an email away.
I will give you,
up, there's none.
And then this is a prime example, right? And it's got nothing to do with what you're talking about, but it's a similar kind of thing. Delivered loads of different youth work stuff, blah, 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 for God knows how many years. Delivered this GAP programme, which is supporting young people to realise opportunities based on their interests, passions, all from working class, underserved communities. Done that a number of times. Really difficult to keep funding it, to actually just create a pipeline of opportunity for people, so they get to that position where they can do the things they want to do. And bang, 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 banging against the flipping the wall to try and get it. And then out of nowhere, I get an email. Or not even an email, a message on LinkedIn the other day. And there's potential that an hour gap trainer, which will be training young people that have been through the program before, to actually then train other young people that will partly fund some of that. And I just think and I can only put it down to being relentless and not giving up. Because there's plenty of other people that have got more ability, less ability.
This is one of
don't give up. Don't give up.
One of the big issues I see in our industry, right?
Yeah.
And you're an example of how it is the opposite. Is there's no legacy effect of the opportunities. So all these.
No one want to fund a new thing, did it?
Nah, so there's all these crumbs from the table.
Well, they do want to fund a new thing.
Oh yeah, we're doing this thing. We're getting young people involved in this, and this. You do that scheme, and then they're doing the next group of young people next year. And you go, what about the ones you did this year? You've just sent them on their way and said off you go. There's no legacy effect.
How can you support them when it falls down? But
it's making sure
there's no youth service. That's that problem.
If I'm giving a young kid an opportunity here, there's also 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 opportunities before I say now you're on your own. Not just you did a 2-week course at the watershed, or you did a 2-week course on some set. Off you go then. Good luck. There's no legacy effect to it.
I think, and I completely agree with you, and I think part of this, and it's a similar kind of thing we were talking about, is how do you, the reasons why we developed GAP is a lot of it is around role models and support, limited provisions in all the obvious communities, you know what I mean, because of cuts and everything else. So how can we support young people to be at a position where they believe in themselves, they belong in themselves, they got the confidence where they are the role models. And that's what we've done. Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's going to change the world, but it has changed some of our world.
Definitely.
And they are better placed to support and change other people's freaking world. Yeah. But then what happens is you need to fund it.
Yes.
But it's funding people from those communities to have the agency to go out and do it themselves. And why shouldn't we be doing that? But the challenges are still there, and it feels like it's the same thing with what you're talking about with film. It's like the more people that come from those backgrounds that are in that position can then open the door, can't they?
Always the problem, right? Because you're never going to have. I mean, look all the tireless people that work in youth work, like in Artcliffe. Just
there's not that many left now.
But the ones that are, they're tireless, and they've been doing it for years.
And they're tired.
And they're very tired.
Yeah.
And still, they can't do the thing that we know works because there's no funding for it. And that is the biggest thing that's got to change. It's not like people like you guys don't exist. They do. But how on earth can you carry it on? You'll eventually burn out. And then there'll be another Ben comes along. There'll be another Jackie Eddie that comes along. And then they'll burn out.
Well, I'm not convinced there will. But I mean, I hope there is. Do you know what I mean? And that's what, a lot of us try and, Jackie and me, for example, try and create that pipeline. But it's very difficult, if I think about the people that have gone through our systems, that have done really well, that have really got the ability to be their next version of, a Jackie or whoever, but they don't have the commitment of full-time work. So it's the same trouble that you're going through, but it's just like they're, 2 or 3 sessions a week, 3 days a week, 2 days a week. Do you know what I mean? So then they have to look for other work, and I get it. Yeah. And that's where the system's broken. We're not going to have you can't create the opportunities for the talented people from normal underserved backgrounds because they can't pay the flipping rent because it's not, or they're not going to be pulled away from another profession that they've gone into because youth service has been.
Well, this is one of the other things as well.
Because it's not the commitment.
What that GAP thing does really well is it creates visibility, right? More than anything else. I had a little inkling. I wanted, using me as an example, a little inkling I wanted to be a filmmaker. I can see one. I can talk to one. Same with a lawyer, same with a rugby player, Alice Gaines, whatever it may be. And that is massive for a young kid. I didn't have any visibility of those people, right? But how do we marry up the difficult journey? Because it's not going to be easy for, say, Alice Gaines to become a rugby player and me to become a filmmaker.
I've offered him.
I'm still not there. But there are loads of people like that, right?
Yeah.
I wish there were more. There are loads of successful people that come from county estates who go, job done, I'm out, see you later, I'm never ever coming back. And that's also a problem, I think. So I've got this weird sense, it's not weird, I've got a real...
It's passion, mate, it's pride.
A real sense of responsibility that if I am successful, I must... So I'll share my successes on Facebook and it might feel a little bit like, oh God, he's going on about himself again. There's an element of that to it.
It's aspirations.
Of course. But I always feel like one kid could see that who's not thinking about, or is thinking about it, but has no visibility. So it's like visibility is important. So I'm always looking backwards, thinking, no matter how far I get up here, how can I bring people on that journey with me.
Do you think there's people that are further up that food chain
who don't do that?
That don't do that, and I can think of a few as well within 100%. The food chain that we're in. And it's not easy. I don't know. We can't dig people out, can we? We're not doing that. But you've got to give.
People are busy. Like
you've got to give a bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
To create change.
You can't say yes to everything. I have to say no to things because as soon as you're seen to be someone that wants to do a lot of support, suddenly you just get asked all the time, and then you have no time. It's always going to be unpaid. So it is finding a balance, but what it isn't doing is just slamming a door shut and saying, "I'm in, sod the rest of you." Every film I ever make, every opportunity I ever get, every producer I speak to about those opportunities, I'm always going, how can we fashion out an opportunity to bring someone on this ride with us? We wouldn't always see it. Well. And as long as
it don't make it easier sometimes, it makes it a lot harder.
Every time I get one person or two people or and I've done 10 films and that's now 20 people, that's not just me being visible, that's them now going back to school, for example. And then that's the same thing as what I'm talking about,
is creating that momentum in it and widening the flipping audience.
And it's not even kids, by the way, Ben. It's going home and then they're visible to their own parents and their aunties and their cousins.
Yeah, the ripple effect across the family.
And suddenly it's not odd anymore. I bet you already it's not as odd now as it was when I was at school for kids to say they want to be an actor or want to be a director. I bet it's a lot more normalised now. So there is change.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't happen as quick as...
And it's not fun to
Money. Bloody money. Last question then about how can society create more equal opportunities for people in creative industries? Like, is there something that like we're talking about like film? I mean, this is a massive question. Sorry, you can say shut up, Ben. That's crap. But it's like the wider thing, like creativity. I'm with you, by the way. I think there's loads of kids that go to school and they've got a certain passion for something. They're interested in something. They're never going to get you X amount of A's and B's in English, maths, or whatever. But they have a talent in dance. They have a talent in creating something or doing something. The system needs to change. We need to support. We bang on about different ADHDs and this, that, and the other. Everyone's got talent if you can support them, right? So it kind
find it, spot it, motivate it, empower it. If you can do those 4 things to every kid individually, I think the school system would.
We can make so many people fly. That is basically what GAP is, by the way. Like, you know, but it should be happening a lot earlier. Yeah. Like at 12 years old, secondary school, it's obvious. All right, instead of kicking someone out, hang on a minute, how can we support you? I'm going off track a little bit, but I think it's connected. Ask me the question again. It's connected with this one. It's like, how does society create more equal access to opportunities within, like the arts and film and creative stuff? How can other people kind of support that? Is there a way, or is it literally just...
Like, it is a boring answer, but it does come down to money, because if you've got someone that wants to support that and offer opportunities, so for example, if someone wants to make a movie, but they're only going to use kids round here so they really learn, we tried getting this project off the ground. If you can't fund that, it doesn't happen. So I don't think there's a shortage of people thinking that there are different solutions to be found. But if you have no money and you have no funding, I just don't know.
In it wider, I mean, you touched on it earlier on. It's like, how many things that used to be in school, for example, that used to be there, music, drama, like various different creative kind of subjects. The system has become so narrow, there's not an outlet.
I mean, we're talking about the system from an education point of view. That's not society, is it? Like, we can talk about how schools are getting it wrong for hours.
No, but that's part of it. Because like you're growing up and it's like you're not getting that chance. But then outside of that, as you get older, is there loads of opportunities for people to go and do like acting in, in Artcliffe? I don't know. Like, is there like drama groups there? I've got no idea.
Probably not. I mean, but even if there is, like, I don't know. Is a builder going to go, I fancy doing a bit of acting on the side? I'm going to go, I'm not going to come to the pub tonight, lads. I'm going to a drama class. Because, like, culturally, we're just programmed to think that would be weird. But if the
opportunity was there, you might. And that's the thing. I think, like, for me, and I know it comes down to funding again, it's like, do governments back those creative opportunities? Does money come from there?
No, money doesn't come, but also I don't think the kind of motivational kind of projects are happening. I always wonder, like, one of my favourite films is The Full Monty.
Oh, yeah. Right? You used to do an version. No.
Well, I always think, like, when The Full Monty came out, did a load of working class blokes just go, oh, they're like me, they sang like me, they dress like me, maybe I could be an actor. Because when you're looking at Robert Carlyle and all the people,
Yeah.
they're all working class actors. Same with This Is England. I mean, we didn't really have a Bristol version of that.
Why do you think that, and that's probably another thing, why do you think that is? Because like regionally, and with the, what's it called over here? The, God, you have to help me out. Up in Angrove, up near the college. You've got
Bodyguard.
there's a lot of space that's being used by, you know, production companies, isn't there, nationally down there.
But it's a business. Like the Bodyguard is a business at the end of the day. It's a studio. Like
is there not an appetite for a regional kind of a Bristol kind of based thing? Do you think that we're looked down as a bunch of bumpkins? I don't know. Like what's?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that gets shot here,
but it's not.
It's not
Bristol based, is it?
Well, no. And when it is, it's a bit like. Really. It all just goes back up the ladder towards what's commercial and what isn't. So you could pitch an idea for Bristol's version of the Full Monty, but until someone goes, yeah, that's a really good idea, we're going to make it, you're not going to see it, and therefore it's not going to have any impact. So it's like audiences have to kind of make some demands what they want to see and change it by going to the cinema or watching.
Well, things. I think what you just said a minute ago, and I'm guessing probably Outlaws might have been kind of what you were thinking of a little bit. Is like, so is there something in then that when the opportunities come, and actually there was something about Bristol or whatever, that people from Bristol are actually involved in it, and then that the opportunities then come for those people from that area? I know, like, you know, when you do your films, you get people from all over the place to do it, and that's right. But is there a need for that more everywhere, more regional opportunity for things in those?
Because it's like even on a smaller level, like all the production companies are up in Clifton, aren't they?
Or
wherever they are.
I'm not surprised by
they're
that.
certainly not in Hartcliffe. So it's just like, I don't know, a Hartcliffe production company, wouldn't that be great? Or a South production company.
Wouldn't that be great?
But that's difficult to make those things happen when no one from those council estates are getting into film in the first place.
But there's the massive thing, Bottlyard Studio is in Angrove, which is just up the road. Is there, like, what's the outreach like? Do you know what I mean? Like that,
it's getting better. Like
that's the kind of thing.
They've got a really good outreach girl. So Jenny Duffy works there now.
Okay, yeah.
So Jenny Duffy and Jane Coulter are like the outreach people, and they're passionate and they're good and they understand it and they want to make a difference. They really, really do.
Okay.
But their hands are tied with
I spoke to them ages ago about bloody Gap, and how it might be like a way of literally getting people to be in the right place.
It's difficult because, like I say, it's a business, so they can't make the change, the production companies themselves. So they can put pressure on the production companies and say, if you're going to come down here and shoot your £20 million Sky thing, can you please give some opportunities to these people? But if they go, no, sod off, there's nothing they can really do about it. They can't hold them to account. They've paid their money, they can do what they want in that space. So they have to kind of like fight it. They have to position themselves in a way that they can fight it with people that they're connected and making friends with. More so than just going, oh, bloody hell, give us this, give us that.
But at least they're at the table.
They're at the table.
And so then that's where the change.
So again, and screen skills do a lot, and you know there is opportunities. There is lots of opportunities at the low end to come in as a runner or as a shadow. I was shadowing on a TV show recently. That Jane put me forward for. Okay. So the opportunities are there, and that's on my CV now, so that will help. But they're at the bottom. But that's lovely, and that's the long game. But we're talking about kind of instant success or instant motivation or visibility. That is something different. That is me making a big TV show in the Bottlyard and bringing all my mates and everyone else to come and get involved.
That's the next thing.
That's the next thing.
That's the next thing.
Yeah.
And I can imagine I'm going to see that at some point.
We're trying to make a Hartcliffe version of Pride and Prejudice. so that's bubbling away. That's halfway to be financed.
Wow. Bloody hell.
Set in Hartcliffe.
Wouldn't that be a glorious moment? Yeah. Like to see something like that going on.
Which camera am I on this one? If anyone wants to give us a couple of £1 million to get that over the line.
There we go.
Let me know.
You know, City will be in the Premiership by then.
There you go.
You'll be there, you know, living it up. This could happen.
But you know
what?
This
could happen.
That script, right? So the only reason that script has become what it's become is because the producers and the writers of it, so I came in to kind of like polish the writing up.
Yeah.
We're open to the fact of going, we want to build this around a very specific working class council estate culture, Hartcliffe. So all the character and colour and personality.
They're going to be based on people you grown up
basically.
with.
But what that means is people will see themselves in it for one, and it will feel really lived in and honest and real and authentic. Yeah. But that's because the producers have given us the freedom to do that. They could have went, no, it has to be more Jane Austen, it has to be more Jane Austen, it has to be more Jane Austen, it has to be posher, it has to be Clifton.
So that is part of the change that's needed. Yeah. So these things are happening, it's just...
But if that film doesn't get made, that producer is probably going to be burnt and think, no one wants to see that, so we won't do that again.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I can feel that.
Like finances and commerciality aside, that type of film would definitely, seeing a film set on your estate, modern day, on your estate, seeing the pubs.
But that would resonate.
It would resonate.
Estates across the country. It's not just. It could be anywhere.
It's like what Full Monty did, what Billy Elliot did, what This Is England did. Yeah.
Well, I
but we've never had one of them in Bristol, have we? We want one.
No. So that's fingers crossed that's going to come on. Like I said, I think that everything you've done and you're working towards something, and it sounds like you're banging on the door. So I look forward to seeing that feature film when it comes. We always ask a question at the end of the podcast. You might be like, "Come on," but I'm going to ask it anyway. It's basically, what really matters to you? It doesn't matter. First thing that comes into your head. It doesn't matter if it's about your work, it's about you personally, whatever it might be.
What really matters to me?
What really matters to you? What's the first thing that's just popped into your head? If you said finishing this podcast and
the first thing that popped into my head was animal rights.
Animal rights?
Yeah.
Explain that. Have we ever had this before?
I love animals, and I don't think we give them the respect they deserve, and I think they have as much right. This is going to sound mad, isn't it? But I love animals.
Yeah.
Always have.
Yeah.
And I think we mistreat animals and take them for granted. And I just think, animal rights is the first thing that came to my head. That's the first thing that came to my head.
Paul, that's all we needed to hear.
There you go.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Well, thanks for having me.